Alright, I guess get ready in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is Tropics 2. I prefer this one of the two, actually, so I'm pretty happy about this, but I'm happy to play both of them. So this game takes place 1 year after the first game happens. There's a bunch of crazy stuff that happens in the first game, where you rescue your uncle from aliens in the Pacific. In this one, we're going to time travel through a lot of different areas instead. At the beginning here of the game, I'm just going to be not mashing through text. I'm actually buffering the input. So right now, I'm just holding down A at every single new screen, or rather, a new text box, and it buffers the A input to happen automatically as soon as the input is available. Also, shoutouts to Surf and Bird, because that is legitimately the lyrics to that are legitimately the magic spell here to time travel using this book. Anyway, I buffer inputs in this game. Tropics 1 has a lot more buffering than this one does, because this one has different movement compared to the first game, but buffering is still present in some form here. In the first game, you can buffer literally every single input in the game. And while I can technically do that here, the difference is that this game has 8-way movement compared to the first game only having 4-way and being locked to a grid. Give me just 1 sec, I gotta concentrate on this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, I played that super carefully. There's a bunch of pitfalls there. If I fall into one, then it's going to take up a lot of time for me to get through it. So, because I don't normally go through them. So like I said, Tropics 2, when you get into a dungeon, has 8-way movement, unlocked movement, compared to the first game being locked onto a 4-way grid. And the first game, because it's locked onto that 4-way grid, you can buffer a whole lot more than what this one's going to do. So this game is a lot more based on reaction time, on what enemies do. So we did our first time travel. I just got an axe for free, because, you know, who doesn't need a free axe from cavemen? Here's the first dungeon. Upcoming is going to be a trick. We'll see if I can pull it off first try or not. That was good luck. That top boar needed to turn left instead of right, so that was good. That was really bad placement of those enemies. Alright, let's see if I can do this. I missed it, dang. So there's a new setup for that. I'm actually not sure how I messed it up, but I did. So, I'll just go around the long way just in case. I'll be doing another one of those later on anyway. So what I was trying to do is a void walk. The void walk, what happens there is if you take damage on the same frame that you land on the seam of land versus void, or in this case water, it allows you to trick the game into thinking that the land extends out 1 tile further. So I'm actually able to make that 2-tile gap. That I just landed at, instead of what I, just did, unfortunately. But that's alright. If I had gotten that, it would have saved about 12 seconds, but that's alright. Something that is very handy about this game, with its movement, is you don't lose any speed for moving diagonally at all. 7, 8. So like I said, you don't lose any speed by moving diagonally, so there's a lot of spots that I'll just run against the wall because it doesn't actually lose me any speed for it. But turning does, because I actually stopped to turn. So here there's a password that you're supposed to figure out by checking stuff out on the overworld section, but I I don't actually know what the password is. There's a bunch of shapes involving it. I just know what direction I have to go. It's the same every single time, so doesn't make a difference. Coming up on the first boss here called Yum Yum. And I've got to hear my axe throws for this. Okay, so that was the first boss. Yum Yum decides to attack after he's done eating the boar that's there. But if you don't kill the boar, you can kill the boar, but if you don't kill the boar, he just sits there eating and you can kill him before he does anything. Here I'm going to go for a frame-perfect trick and hope that I get it. There's no visual cue for it, I just have to hit select up here and hope. I missed it. Alright, that's fine. Basically, it starts this cutscene early, and it saves about 2 seconds. But there, like I said, there's no visual indicator, you just have to walk onto that tile, hit select, and hope that it works. One thing to note about Yum Yum, though, if you actually kill the boar, instead of letting him finish eating it, he actually moves twice as fast and shoots twice as often, so the fight becomes, like, much more difficult than it really needs to be. Alright, so this is Mika. I didn't explain that. Mika, we saved in the first game. She's an alien as well, but, you know, that's fine. She's using telepathy through time and space now to talk to me. So we got our first Tetrad here. I've got to collect all of them. They are pretty much what you're thinking. They are all Tetris blocks. What's funny about this game, if you look at the re-release that they had on the Wii VC, is they didn't have the rights to say Tetrad anymore because, you know, it was related to Tetris. Nor in the first game did they have the rights to say the word yo-yo because that's a copyrighted thing. In the first game, you know, you use a yo-yo as your weapon. And so it gets changed to Island Star in the first game, and here, the Tetrad just gets changed to block. So I'm collecting blocks in the VC version, of no importance. I've got a bit of a section here, so of overworld section, so if you have a donation, you can read one.
Not at the moment, but I do want to shout out the 3 runners that this is helping. This is going to be helping Luis Miguel, Madu, and Sopa. You can, you know, check them out. 2 Brazilian runners and a Finnish runner. All 3 of them are slated to participate in the X1 to X3 relay race coming up at AGDQ 2019. You know, we had a relay race of first 3 classic megas last year. So being able to see X1 and X3 at the highest level is going to be very cool to see.
All right. So in the story here, this is Cleopatra's barge. So she, you know, is having a big issue right now. She's been hungry. She ordered a pizza from Rome 3 days ago, but still hasn't received it. So she's very, very hungry. So I need to go get her pizza for her before she does anything for me. By going through a deadly dungeon. That's bad luck there to have that spider go up into there, but that's fine. So these Cyclops are just reskin bears. Take the same amount of hits, well, as the gold bears anyway. As you can see, there's some enemies moving on the ground here I'd have to try to avoid. Alright, I'm going to try and go for a jump here. We'll see if I get it. I got it, okay. So I got one trick, at least. So that trick, I can do a 2-tile gap there based on the fact that if you rub up against a wall that has a corner, the corner pushes you forward a pixel if you just lean up against it. So I'm able to jump mid-air, push up against that corner to get that extra pixel of space, and then mid-air change my direction to land on the platform below. Otherwise I would just straight up die for the 2-tile gap. Okay, that wasn't too bad. It was a really weird movement. Scorpion usually goes to the right side of the room. But like I said, this game is much more based on reaction on what enemies do rather than buffering everything as the first game would do. You tell the story, blah blah seeking pizza. Alright, so I'm gonna rent this camel and ride. Ride. And ride. Ride some more. I'm gonna keep riding. And find a Koopa Troopa. So if you could tell, this story makes all sorts of sense so far. Perfect sense. This is every normal kid's life. Alright, we got the pizza. Alright, see you, Koopa Troopa. Pizza's still warm after 3 days in the desert. How about that? Who would have known that the pizza would have still been warm? Give it to me before it cools. We are literally in the desert right now. Chomp chomp, choo choo. Chomp chomp, choo choo. Yo, shout out to Caesar's Hut. This stream is not sponsored. Alright, she's a knockout, apparently. So, that's cool. She's gonna take me across the barge. Or on her barge across the river. So I can continue from here. And on top of that, she's gonna give me a dagger, which is gonna allow me to do 1.5 damage compared to the 1 damage that the axe has. You can technically get the dagger early. There's a guy who trades it to you on the other side of the river. But how many tiles it takes to actually go and get the dagger doesn't save any time in the dungeon to actually get it. It actually is slower, so it's better for us to just skip it altogether. So here, below, I'm supposed to go to a pyramid, but I can't enter the pyramid yet. I have to actually go through this maze up here and chase after a monkey who's taunting me. So that's great. Everybody loves to be taunted, right? So, I've got to do three mini dungeons here after I get through this maze. Here's the first one. Ooh, that was an arrow dodge. Say hi to Mr. Hippo. Say bye to him as well, because, you know, we don't love him, apparently. He attacked us. And this maze is the same every single time. I just have it memorized as to where to go. Well, I shouldn't say I have it memorized. I have a vague understanding of where everything is. I do it entirely by feel. I know the general direction of where I'm supposed to go through this maze. Usually it works out. Okay, so some rooms I have to do, or every room I have to meet certain conditions. Some of them it's just killing certain enemies, some of them it's jumping on a switch. but I don't necessarily have to kill all of the enemies. Like here, I just have to kill frogs. The one-eyed frogs. So in this chapter, I forget which part of the dungeons it is, if it's this one or the previous one or what, but in one of these mini dungeons, there's actually a way to credits warp. We discovered, or rather, I mean a Scary Ice. But doing it is pretty much a task-only thing. Or it's like complicated enough that doing it real time is not really ideal or plausible currently. It's doable, but no one has done it yet. So true any percent hasn't quite been done based on that. There it is. Walking through here, gotta go get us this monkey who's taunting us. Alright, this monkey can talk. He was expecting me, apparently. But he ran away from me, so that makes sense. But who cares, he gave me psychic powers. Because, you know, this is normal. Alright, so now I can actually enter into this pyramid. Because I couldn't get past this barrier without the psychic shockwave. That was a good room. That's actually one of my worst rooms in the game, so I'm pretty happy about that. Snake? Okay. There's a invisible pit there to fall down to the previous room. Six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we got mummies and their kids. Which is really kind of sad to think about. 3, 4, 5, 6. Here I need to actually fall down the pit. There's a few rooms in the game where you do actually have to fall down the pits to progress. That snake is in a really weird position from where he normally is. Okay, that's fine. These enemies in here I can't actually kill. It just stuns them momentarily. We're good on health at the moment. You can actually get some health in that spot as well, but I don't need it currently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. The room can be a little tricky. They fire at random. Here I'm just going to use the conveyors to actually put me into position of where I need to be to kill all these spiders. I do have to be careful with these moving tiles because they don't have any barrier to them, so I can just straight up walk off of them. This health isn't out of the way, so I may as well grab it. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Alright, here we got a snake on the floor. We're going to jump on its tail. Open a gate instead. We're going to fight some more mustached mummies. Okay, come on. What is this movement? Okay. I'm getting really strange patterns from some enemies today. That was good, though. Usually I get 1 or 2 of the mummy childs to or children, I guess, to be in the way there. Alright, so here I'm gonna hit start. And I was attempting to buffer. I guess it didn't register my down input. To go to the magic menu. Snake, please. Snakes. What are you doing? Snakes! Get over here. But anyway, yeah, so the game, I really like these games because they get a little clever with what they do with, like, floor tiles and things like that. Your clue there is that there's a snake in this room, so use, you know, the snake charmer flute to summon the snakes in it. Okay, this boss can be a troll, that's good, he's fine like this. Okay. So that boss can have 3 positions, one in the back, one in the middle, one in the front. If he goes to the back, then I can't hit him. So, I was fortunate that he did not go to the back. And with that, we are going to get our next tetrad. So, I'm going to be time traveling again here. If you can plug something, you are welcome to.
Alright, so we do have an incentive that will be closing at the end of the Mega Man block for Comet Striker. That's going to be run by Eldra. There's currently an incentive right after that to Labyrinth mode, have a showcase of that, so that can be very interesting. If anyone wants to contribute towards that, we are $100 out of $200 right there. So be sure to get your donations in for that. And again, you know, Louise, Madhu, and Sopa, I'm going to be very appreciative for anything you're able to help with for this marathon. Also, another shout out to our current restreamer, Chelny, also the host and main organizer of this tournament. Thank you very much, Chelny, for organizing this.
So, there's some dogs here, and it's really sad that we skip over them, but I'm gonna pet this one anyway. Alright, so this chapter I find Sherlock Holmes, and he says that he has a clue that something's going to be stolen at the museum, so I go find a policeman to ask where the museum is. And I'm suspicious because it's late at night and I'm asking where the museum is, so I get thrown in jail immediately for it. It's a good thing that the jail has, you know, a false wall, so I can just exit. You know, you wouldn't think that they'd make something so obvious for a prisoner. You reach for it. Oh no, it's Zoda. We defeated him in the last game. But this is his revenge, so... if I go off to the left there, there's actually a big heart that I can get to increase my life. And there's a big heart in every single level like that. However, at the end of every dungeon, it gives it to you anyway, so there's no point in actually going to get it. In a speedrun setting, just because it wastes time. Alright, here I'm going to do another jump like I did earlier in Chapter 3. Oh, I missed it! Wow, I actually have to get this one. The other one was bonus. I'm actually surprised, because this one's way easier than the other one is. Because in the other one, I have to jump up against the corner and then change direction mid-air. This one, I just have to hit up. Like that, okay. And it pushes me forward to hit that gap. That saves like 30 seconds to a minute or something by doing that, because you skip the entirety of this dungeon for it. So I couldn't tell you what the rest of this dungeon looks like at all. That was an excellent room with the owls. Alright, let's see if I can do this boss correctly. Okay, we're safe. The boss is a little stressful because, as you can see, all the platforms come out from underneath you. But to do it fast, you know, in one cycle, you gotta hit him 5 times on each one. And that gives you just enough time to, live. Very short overworld section into the next dungeon. I'll play, pretty much everything in this dungeon, though, so... Here, I'm gonna get the spike discs. I don't want to waste the ammo. I gotta be careful with these guys, though, because they can charge. As you can see. Like that. Okay. I don't want to waste that ammo because those deal a lot more damage, allowing me to take out some enemies a lot faster in certain rooms. Such as these guys. Oop, we got beeping. I apologize. Because that may be there for a while. And unfortunately, in both the Star Tropics games, any sound that you make otherwise interrupts the beeping sound and resets it. So, you're gonna have to get used to it. Alright, I'll get some health back here. I'm not going to get the lucky sign. Yes, I do like this game more. Star Tropics 1 does the same thing. Admittedly, as much as I like Star Tropics 2 more, that is something that Star Tropics 1 has better, is that its beeping sound isn't as bad as Star Tropics 2. So they both do that. That's not good. Alright, you're gonna have to hear it a lot more, sorry. Alright, good luck, please. Frick. Well, he gave me part 1 of 2 good luck, so I need him to spawn there. The other part is I need him to do the other attack than what he did, because it makes him stay there longer. He never does the skull attack this often, though. This is strange. Okay, he's dead. Dungeon's over, so we're fine. Alright, no more beeping. For now. So one other bad thing, actually, about this is that at the end of every chapter, once I get the tetrad, it's going to refill my health, and every single heart takes up 1 full second to fill up. So now the fact that I have less health, it's going to waste even more time because I have to wait extra time than I would have to otherwise if I had full health. Just waiting for it to refill. So I'll exit the sewers, go talk to Sherlock Holmes again. You tell the story, blah blah Zoda Z. Papa Uma Mau Mau. Whoa, this is radical. This game is very, very 90s, and I absolutely love it. So again, I've got another big overworld section here. I'm traveling to the Wild West, but yeah, if you got something, go for it.
Yeah. Speaking of the 90s, so Terex, I do have a question for you. Did you play this game when you were a kid?
Yes. Yeah. I played both games growing up. So I never got very far in either of them. But I got further in this game than I did the first one, but that's due to something I was afraid of in the first one, so I was too scared to go past it.
That's fair. All right. Yeah. So we do have, we have that one incentive for Comet Striker Labyrinth mode coming up, but we will also have Kirby's Color in Kirby the Amazing Mirror coming up after that. You have a bunch of different colors to choose from. You have 8 different colors. So be sure to check that out if that's something you're interested in. And the current prize for right now, if you donate towards Comet Striker's Labyrinth mode, is you have the chance to win Life is Strange, the complete season. So that could be interesting for people. And back to you, Terry.
All right. So yeah, like I said, I'm in the Wild West. This guy just gave me some free dynamite because, I'm a teenager in high school, and who doesn't need free dynamite? So, that's safe. But anyway, I get the dynamite, I go blow up this wall to get inside this dungeon. The clue to get inside this wall is actually a dance that you learn inside of the bar there. They got a guy playing the piano, and he has this song, the Cactus Dance, and you have to go find the cactus that has one arm that's facing the other direction than the other ones, and do this dance around it, and then that'll allow you to blow the correct spot in the wall up. If you blow up the wrong sections of it, you'll find gold nuggets in there, and you can go take those back, and they'll give you points for it, instead of money. But then you have to go get more dynamite. So that wastes time. Also, in those small extra ones, other than gold nuggets, you may also find a chicken nugget, and you will eat it, like any teenage guy would do. Okay. I hate those enemies so much. So I can actually skip this boss using the void walk trick that I was talking about earlier that I happened to fail, unfortunately. I will do the void walk later, though, because that one I have to do. Well, technically I don't have to, but it'll waste time. A lot of time, and I'm going to do that one regardless. But you can do it on this one. And recently, Fulco, the guy who has the Star Tropics 1 record, found a way to do it a lot easier in real time. But I haven't actually tried it out yet. And in skipping that boss, you save like 20 seconds, so it's pretty hefty if you are able to pull it off. But if you don't, I mean, it's like a minute time loss. Alright, so I got an upgrade from a donkey to my psychic powers. So we got a monkey that gave us psychic powers, we got a donkey that upgraded it. Animals are weird. Ooh, Whew, okay, that dodge. That was not a good pattern. I've never been encased like that before. That was strange. There's a lot of strange patterns in this so far, if you couldn't tell. Okay. Alright, so here I'm gonna grab this star. I grabbed the potion earlier. I didn't need to, but it's for safety, because this dungeon is terrifying. Due to this mini-boss right here. He is spawning in, like, all the wrong places. Okay, get in there, get in there. Whew. So not only is that because of the mini-boss, but the actual boss of this dungeon is, like, stupidly hard with its patterns if you don't have it. And the star basically grants you invincibility. Whew. Snakes, what are you doing, dude? Stop it. Okay. Just want to run past. Whoop. Didn't get my health. You can get in and out of there safely, but you gotta do it fast. Okay, I'm just gonna use the star so I can get on top of him. Ooh, that's not good, actually. That's really not good. Okay. We're fine. That was a little scary. I'm gonna use the potion anyway to help save a little bit of time for the refill. What's stronger? It depends on what point of the run. So the dagger and the super psychic shockwave deal the same amount of damage, but the super psychic shockwave has more range to it. Once I get my next sword upgrade, I'll get a katana, and that will deal more damage than this. Until I get the ultra super psychic shockwave. So depending on what health I have, since the health determines what my weapon is for the psychic shockwave, depending on what my health is at, will determine what weapon I will use in certain parts of the run. So I've got to be prepared to use both weapons at any time. Alright, so we're surfing Bird again through time. You decide to look around. So we're in Italy now. That guy was a jerk. He moved in front of me. Making me waste time by having to move up a square. For shame. So we're just going to go into this random house like we keep doing, breaking into people's houses. Someone's inside this statue. That's unfortunate. We're just going to raid his basement. So, I don't have the katana yet, but for some reason in this room, I have the katana. Only in this room, though. It makes no sense. If I look here again, I have the dagger. So unfortunately, the one room that the katana is early in does absolutely nothing. Whew, okay. I have to be careful with these moving platforms because they have no edges to them, so I'll just walk right off of them. So now I gotta do this ball puzzle. That's the easy one. I gotta be really careful because these things deal a ton of damage if they hit me. Alright, we're out of there. So like I said, we're just gonna raid this guy's basement. Because, you know, he's stuck in a statue, so why not? Free basement. Alright, found a chisel. It's good. It's a good start. Oh snap, we found a hammer. We are rolling with the cash. You know how much tools go for? Oh, I guess we're gonna free him. We'll be nice instead. I guess. Oh snap. Leonardo da Vinci. Alright, so the Mona Lisa, we don't like the hairstyle, so we're going to help him as his official art critic. And obviously, this is radical. Also, Leonardo da Vinci just gave me a katana. And I took his flying machine while he wasn't looking. And isn't this great? We just went back in time. We made the Mona Lisa rad. We're flying on something, you know, that we hope doesn't fall apart on us. It's all great. Alright, who's ready for the Pointless Island? Are you ready for the Pointless Island? Alright, there was Pointless Island. See ya. Now we're on the relevant island. So that island actually has a heart piece on it. But again, we don't actually need it. I don't know where I thought I was going there. I gotta be careful in here because there's extra dungeons in it that I have no idea how to get through. So I need to walk through here in a certain pattern. Okay, so now this one up here has this upcoming dungeon that I can't avoid, has 4 different ones that it can give me at random, so I hope that it gives me one over another. This is actually the fastest one. Except I can't remember which one I'm supposed to hit. Because I never get this one. Good job, me. Alright, we're out of there. So I got the fastest one. 1, 2, down. Up. Okay. This one is set as to what I get. It's only the one dungeon. But instead, depending on which door I exit through there, that'll determine which direction it puts me out on the overworld. So I need to go up. Down 1, 2, up 1, 2, down. I'm taking these overworld sections really carefully because if I drop into one of those, I think I'd actually be better to reset the chapter than to play through it because those dungeons are super long and I don't know where to go in them whatsoever. Oh snap, it's Zoda. Zoda Y. Whoa, this is radical. I just had this villain appear in front of me, basically tell me he's gonna try to kill me, and I am so pleased right now. Man, I love this. You can plug something else here if you want to, Richard.
Sounds good, Terex. Yeah, so for anyone that is just joining us, you are watching Bring 'em Over 2. This online marathon is going to be going on this weekend, and we're going to be raising money to bring Luis Miguel, Madu, and Sopa to HETQ 2019, all the way in Maryland. And so, we have Luis Miguel, a great Mega Man X runner, Madu, an X3 runner, Sopa, also an X-Run runner, runs many categories. And so, last year, we helped someone from Brazil and someone from Germany get there. We're going to be helping 2 Brazilians and 1 Finnish person get there this year. So be sure to check that out. And, we also have coming up next, Terex, if the last character was flipped upside down, your favorite game, Mega Man 9.
That's true. If it was flipped upside down.
Yep. But still, that'll be a very cool run coming up by Handsome Jack, so be sure to check that out, everyone.
Alright, so we're in Transylvania right now. These enemies suck because I can only hit them from behind and they move in weird patterns. Or towards me, which is even worse. Okay. Go down there. Thank you. I do actually have to hold the diagonal to get through that. Otherwise I'll fall down another pit indefinitely until I do hold diagonal. So you saw another lucky sign there. The lucky sign is different in Star Tropics 2 than it was in Star Tropics 1. Star Tropics 1 was mean. Star Tropics 1, it's like, okay, you can get a lucky sign. Lucky sign gives you extra lives, right? That's great. Except Star Tropics 1 has a chance of giving you a negative life. And it takes one away from you. People didn't like that. So they took that out of the second game. So you will always get at least 1 life. You may get 2 if you pick up the sign in Star Tropics 2. These zombies, stop it. Yes, they are actually zombies.
These are quite the interesting zombies.
Yes, I know. that is actually, yeah, but the skulls walking around there, the skeletons, they aren't the zombies. They actually say that like the instruction booklet, the ones walking around are zombies. Or the weird ones, I should say. So this is Zoda Y. Okay, first phase is up. Yep, spike wall. And there's a good reason why that spike wall is there. This right here. So the pattern that the feathers come out is random, so I have to be able to dodge them for wherever I see an opening at. Alright, Chelmy. You get out of here. Next Chelmy's gonna tell me that this is the block. That's the true name of it. The spike ceiling joke that Chelney just gave is a Mega Man 6 thing, so anybody who's wondering about that, you can ask me about it later since it's related to that. I'm telling you it's a tetrad, Chelney. And I'm telling you that this is radical. Okay. There's a lot of green here, a lot of trees. But here, I'm gonna go talk to Sir, or I'm gonna be part of the round table here soon. I'm gonna become a knight. Also, I'm gonna walk across this gap right here. Strictly because there's two spaces next to each other there, even though it doesn't look like you can walk across it. But because you have the two spaces there you can walk across, you can just ignore walking down tile like they want you to. Alright, so we just got knighted by King Arthur. Walk across the canyon again, that's cool. And walk into the dungeon. I love the music in this game. A lot. Okay, so killing the enemies instead of opening a gate this time drops me through the floor. Okay, same thing there. I had to be careful with that green guy on the previous room because you can actually... Oop, I guess we're on the long way. You can actually soft lock in that room based on if you jump at the right time and then take damage on one of his shots that he fired, he will, in the end, cause you to soft lock because you'll, sorry, I'm concentrating. It's a fast dungeon. I'll explain it in a sec. You end up void walking is what it is. I messed it up again. Jump once. I only get 2 hits. Come on. This boss can be really irritating. It's not hard, but because he has low health, but once you get off the cycle, it's kind of a little tricky to get back on it. So anyway, I can soft lock in that room based on a void walk. If I jump at the right time and his shot hits me, I can land right as when I'm supposed to fall through the floor, and I will never be able to progress from there. Because I will no longer be falling through the floor. This is absolutely how jousting works. Didn't you see it? Also, we found an owl. Oh, he's a monkey and a donkey. And he's a wizard. So this entire time, we've been guided by Merlin, who's been seeing me through time and space. So he went through time and space with me to give me psychic powers. I've got the Ultra Psychic Shockwave, which is the best weapon in the game, because it will travel entirely across the screen and it does the most damage. So I don't want to lose this. Here we got a Zodasaur. That was good, and I got 2 of the small guys at once. That was actually really good for that room. I'm very happy about that. H. Who wants to press F on their keyboard when you can press H? Ninja Knights. Yeah, this one is the Ninja Knight because he has a shield. And I can't hit him, like, ever. Turn, thank you. Okay. There's a lot of tiles in there, but, you know, trivial when you know where to go. Here we're going to buffer a jump to jump onto this. So that, what I mean, again, as I explained earlier, what I mean by buffer is I just had, you know, to hold down diagonal and jump, and as soon as I got on the screen, it inputted it immediately. So buffering still is present in Star Tropics 2, just not nearly as much as Star Tropics 1, where you're locked on that grid, so everything is buffered. The grid movement in Star Tropics 1 is actually really good for what it is, like, surprisingly. It just works. I prefer the 8-way movement that this one gave, though. It was a lot more fun to me. This guy's juking me, dude. He must have perfect inventory. The medicine. So we're fighting a dragon. This is why I came here. Because none of the knights could actually kill the dragon, so we're sending a child in to do it instead. Or teenager, rather. Junior in high school.
But you are a knight.
I am a knight, that's true. I did get knighted right before this. So as you saw there, I swapped weapons because my health went down below. So I no longer had the Ultra Psychic Shock. So it was better for me to swap to the Katana to do more damage. Despite the fact that I can use the Psychic Shock faster. Alright. You got a Tetrad. That is our final Tetrad. And now I gotta wait for my life to increase this whole time. Twiddle my thumbs. Try to play Tetris. But nothing happened when I played Tetris, so I guess Tetris isn't, you know, relevant. Unfortunately. Something's happened back at Sea Island. Sea Island is the original place that you start at in Star Tropics 1. So that is where Mika is at, who I had saved in the previous game. And her siblings, the Argonians. Here we go again. Disconnected? Alright, so this is the final chapter of the game. And to me, this is one of the coolest throwbacks that I have ever seen in a game at all. So, we start right there on the helipad in the first game, right at the beginning. I'm going to start again, Star Tropics 2. We're going to go into the village here and find that something is wrong. I can't place my finger on it. Oh, the pig in the corner. The pig's a boar now. Got it. You must be so confused. Dude, that poor pig. I don't know what else is wrong, but that pig, man. I gotta help him. Gotta change him back to a pig. So this is the dungeon from Star Tropics 1. They recreated it in Star Tropics 2, recreated the music with it as well. Which is one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen, like, in games for throwbacks. So this room, you know, is identical to what it would be in Star Tropics 1. The dungeon is slightly different, like that switch there is not in Star Tropics 1. I'm going to clear my rooms differently than I would in Star Tropics 1. I would normally go to the right in this room in Star Tropics 1. Here I went to the left. Also, the switches are on the opposite side. Like I said, opposite side. It did skip one room as well. They didn't program the room that was in between the last room and this one. Okay, so here I'm actually going to do that void walk that I did earlier, and I actually do need to get this one. So we're going to see how many times this takes. Alright, we got it. So I just skipped the Sea Serpent. So both in Star Tropics 1 and in Star Tropics 2, we don't have to fight that boss. I'm going to grab this for safety. Hopefully I won't need to use it, but I'll grab it for safety. Easy, man. That boss... He was already dead. Didn't you see him? He was a skeleton. Alright, so now I have a boss rush. That's fine. You can kill him before the third attack happens, but the spots that you're supposed to jump at I missed, and it's pretty tight. But that's fine. Just keep walking to the right. Or not. Okay. Okay, that's fine. We also don't have to fight every single boss for some reason. So now I don't care that the monster mask... okay, that was close. I don't care that the monster mask goes to the back because I can hit him with anything at this point. Literally a Mega Man game, man. I can't get away from the Mega Man. Okay, that's fine. Give me the good pattern this time. You jerk! Gave me the bad pattern both times. Okay, that's the good pattern, but not where I'm standing at. Frick. He's giving me really weird spawns. He doesn't spawn to the right side usually. Okay. So yeah, if he had given me... either the patterns that I needed, you know, I would actually have killed him in one cycle before he had done anything else. This is super scary. Oh, I actually dodged it. Dodging the hammer stun is super precise, and I usually never get it, so it's always a surprise. Also, shoutouts to the spikes being a different spike, because before I had the vertical spikes, right? They were sticking out of the wall. Now there's ground spikes. Also, they have no hitbox anymore. So we skipped over the Knight Rider, the jousting boss. For whatever reason, they just didn't make you replay that one. Woo! Giving me 2 fire patterns. That's rare. Gonna give me a 3rd one? Nah, you're dead. Okay. Alright, remember to take your drugs, kids. I mean, what? So here I have to hit the purple one of the 5 here, because it's, you know, the one that's the only one that's different. This is Zoda Z. This is a really cool fight, in my opinion. I absolutely love this fight. If I get hit by one of those balls right there, I get turned into a boar. So I do have to be careful, and I can't do anything for a set amount of time. I just have to run from him. Ooh, that was really close. Zoda Z. Alright, this is the final form. Good, go to the corner. Yes. That means I can just keep hitting you. Alright, we got him. Woo! Yes, this is on the NES. This was the second to last game released on the NES. This was the last unique game that got released on the NES. The last game was Wario's Woods, which was also on Super Nintendo. So time isn't quite up yet. I'm going to do something funny here. So if I just hold a direction here, I can just skip this cutscene entirely. So I can continue on, but if I go back, the game doesn't know what to do. Their hitboxes are still here, but yeah. We're just gonna take them with us. Dude, there's people here now. What happened? Oh, dude, is that pig okay? Oh man, that pig's okay. We're gonna talk to the pig. And time.